Hey guys, Josh Gadamu here, and today I'm going to teach you guys about how to shrink your collection without regretting it. Pretty hard thing to do, and one that every collector worries about. Now, just a heads up, regardless of what you collect, these principles will be of use to you. So whether you collect little NASCAR cars, or thimbles, or metal spoons, or decorative plates, or action figures, you can apply these principles. So just a little background, I'm a toy reviewer here on YouTube, Army of Toys. I review Army Men, I review G.I. Joe's, Star Wars action figures, and most of all Gundam, which are these giant robots pretty much. People would be like this small, and it's all about war and stuff like that. There's a ton of other toys I'd love to collect. The classic Ghostbusters, those were amazing. The new Masters of the Universe action figures, Ninja Turtles. But there's this thing called space, which gets in the way. So, one thing, just a simple way to keep your collection in check, I'm going to talk about a few of those real quick, is one man can only collect so many things, at least to such a degree as he wants. So, for the majority of my collection is Gundam, Mobile Suit in action figures. And because I do stop motion animation along with them, I have G.I. Joes to be the pilots, and I have little mini army men to go next to them, and I got micro machines that look really cool next to them. And that makes for quite the collection, especially because I'm animating and I don't like to digitally put things in. So I would rather have 7 of the same thing, which really I need more like 3 of the same thing for a shot. Tops probably, but like I might want to customize one of them. I'm really big on customizing. And so pretty early on I had to decide what it is that I'm going to collect primarily. I can't display everything. And so while I love a lot of different things, I chose to mostly focus on Gundam and what's for my animation, which is, I got boxes of G.I. Joes, but they don't display because I'm not really collecting G.I. Joes. I'm just using them as another part of my hobby. Same for Micro Machines and Micro Machine soldiers. And there's some Army Men sets I really love, but I have to pick one. Which one can I display? There's Army sets I'd love to display, but I love my Gundam stuff more. That really kind of brings you into one of the first things. What do you love, and why, and what's your intention in collecting it? So that matters. Once upon a time, I was collecting to collect just about every single Mobile Suit in action figure, except for the stupid, ridiculous, this one costs $400 for a little figure rares. The absurdly absurd ones. And I could probably get those these days if I wanted to. Not because I'm rich, but because downsizing your collection ends you up with a bunch of money. If you could sell the stuff. Which then you can reinvest. But we'll get to that. So, that used to be my thing, and I probably had 300 to 400 different Gundam action figures. And there was, the animation aspect on top of it, plus all the other stuff I collect. I got an entire room to myself of my collection. And I was able to build up a lot by selling them used, and I would buy lots, and I would get them for like $5 a piece. And it hasn't been it's been a long time since I got them for that price. But it was pretty cool. It helped me build up quite the collection. A lot of trading with some really awesome people here on YouTube. Well, I ended up with so many. Like, you wouldn't expect this to be a problem. But I ended up with so many, I couldn't see them all. And I've got 4 Walmart shelves behind me. And I had them all just kind of, stacked behind each other. And you just had to go look at them if you wanted to see them. And, there was still more I was getting, and I was always building customs. I really couldn't appreciate my collection because it got so huge. So what do? Well, I just started picking, what's my least favorite? Yeah, I appreciated the designs of the G Gundam figures. They did what they did in the show. They transformed. They looked how they should have looked. But the truth is, I never really liked G Gundam, which is a sub-series of Gundam. And so I decided to put the G Gundam action figures in a box. This was my wife's suggestion. I put it in a box for about 3 months, 6 months. And you know what? I didn't miss them. I thought I would miss them. Every collector, when they're thinking about downsizing, they're like, oh my goodness. Oh, how will I ever get it again if I want it again? Because, I got this for a crazy deal on eBay, or it's absurdly rare. Don't keep stuff just because it's absurdly rare, unless you're trying to hang on to it for resale value. Because just hanging on to it because you got it for a good deal is not a great thing. And so over the years, as my hobby has matured, I've matured. I've appreciated everything that's been in my collection, except for Zebra Gundam. That thing was dumb. Let's just be honest. But but just about all of them, I've appreciated them. I've enjoyed them. Today I sold my Psycho Gundam, and I got it for a crazy good deal years ago. I loved it. It showed off in my collection. Amazing. But it's been there for like 6 years. And I decided that now my collection is so I will animate. If something's in my collection, it's because I intend to do stop motion animation with it someday. And so I've been weeding things out, going, the seed figures are pretty cool, but I'm never really going to animate with them because the Universal Century set is my favorite. And that's what I always make customs for. I downsized the Zeta stuff. I got downsized the Char's counterattack stuff. I actually had to put that stuff in a box twice, just because I was kind of willy-nilly about it. And as my collection has thinned, I start seeing the things I love. And I've been able to build little dioramas and to have combat scenes or to have them laid out so I can see them instead of, well, my favorite figure is there somewhere behind the other 72. And so one of the ways to, reevaluate, don't be afraid to reevaluate. Why am I collecting these? What is my goal? Am I enjoying my collection? See, there's a difference between enjoying your collection and being owned by your collection. You can own it, or it can own you. When it all lives in boxes, short of moving or being in between, the place you want to be or having the setup you want, but, it's just permanently in boxes, and you don't really receive any enjoyment out of it. You just own it. It owns you. You can just stack stuff to the ceiling, but if you're not enjoying it, then it's not really doing you any good. I mean, there's the pride. Oh, I own the collection exclusive somewhere in that room over there. I think it's down there. Maybe it's in the basement. It's not enjoyable to be living that way. It's just not. And so, and when you do get rid of stuff, celebrate it and mourn it at the same time. Like today I sold my Psycho Gundam and I was like, man, I really enjoyed having that. It looks really cool up there next to the Big Zom. Big Zom is that big green monstrosity up there. And it looks really cool next to it. And, it's kind of sad, just a little bit. It's not going to be there anymore. As I packed it up for the eBay buyer who bought it, I said, thank you, Psycho Gundam, for being part of my collection. I really enjoyed you. Read that in a book. It actually works. You just talk to the thing, say, hey, thanks for being in my collection. I'm going to miss you. And now I got more room up there. I got more room elsewhere. And I've been refining my collection. So with the Gundam Mobile Suit in Action figures, there's the version 1s, which have basic, kind of articulation. Then there's the version 2s, which have like crazy articulation, or pretty good articulation. And then there's the extendeds, which have way more articulation. And so I've been refining my collection since I'm an animator to have version 2s and extendeds, and then customizing everything that didn't get one, pretty much, because I'm going to use it for animation. That's what I love. That's why I collect, and it's changed over time. It kind of scared me at first. I had all these rare ones, and I had all this, but as I downsized, I really, really enjoyed it. And it's okay. It should be expected as you mature, as you get older. And I'm not even talking about like coming into adulthood. I just mean like as you get older, as you move from your 30s to your 40s, which I'm not there yet, but and you move from your 50s to your 60s. The things that you really, really loved back then, you may not love the same or love the same way as you do now. And don't be afraid to reevaluate your collection, because the best way to enjoy it is to have it change as you change. And so downsizing isn't for everybody necessarily in the way I've been doing it. But, you know, some of you might be like, well, I'm going for collecting every single one. Well, eventually, if you're collecting multiples of every single one, you're going to run out of room. You're going to be storing them in boxes. Trust me, I know this. And so, you know, it might be better to thin the ranks a little bit. I'm sure probably by some people's standards, I'm a toy hoarder still, even though I've been like liquidating huge portions of my collection. I'm okay with that. I'm a stop motion animator. It requires a lot of stuff to do, and I love customizing. And so I just got a couple more multiples of figures I already have multiples of because I'm going to customize them. I got them today in a trade. And I feel like I have room in my collection for these when I finish customizing them because I've been making shelf space. Instead of like, you know, I am always making customs. This, for instance, is a Federation captured Zaku 2. They're normally this color. And so this was made with fabric dye and using a white Zaku 2. Well, when I made this guy, I was like, where am I going to put him? There's no room on the shelves. You know, I guess I can put him behind the other 42 of this guy, you know, and then you don't see it. So yeah, the more, you know, you thin the ranks, the more you downsize, it's really quite enjoyable if you have too much. And remember, put it in a box if you're not sure. Just leave it out off the shelf for a few months. If you miss it, put it back. If you don't miss it, well, yeah, the cool part is if the stuff has value, then you can sell it on eBay or Amazon or trade it and end up with more of the stuff you love, which might be an entirely different thing. Who knows? I hope these principles are useful to fellow collectors out there. I don't have time in this video to make a collection video, but honestly, of all the years I've been collecting the Gundam Mobile Suit action figures, which is about 15 years, no, 20 years, wow. So yeah, I've been collecting these for about 20 years. I am happiest with my collection that I have ever been in my entire life. And I used to own so many, many more. But now I can see them and appreciate the ones that I love the most. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to like, favorite, and subscribe.